As a player or as a manager, Glenn knows, you've been there. You get a lot of criticism, you play disastrous as they did against Liverpool. To go and produce a performance like that, just, that's what sport is all about. You've got the highs and lows. That is a huge moment for those players and for Ole. Who knows how long it's going to last? But considering the way they played against Liverpool, that is an important performance.
Glenn, you spoke about your disappointment from a Spurs perspective. The boos are more than audible at the full-time whistle. How much pressure is there now on Nuno?
There is pressure. The boos were there because there wasn't anything to cheer. There wasn't anything really positive for Tottenham. I don't see a pattern of play. That's what concerns me. I've said it for week after week. When they did start the season and got some results, the Man City is the only game at home that they've played well this season, where I can say they've put a real stint in.
That was the opening day of the camp.
And that was the opening game. Even the Wolves game away, they won. I remember they were lucky. At the end of the day, there is a lot of work to be done. Nuno has got to look at himself first and foremost. What is it? I saw a Wolves side, well drilled, playing a back three, with wing-backs, with good footballers in midfield, with really good movement up the top of the pitch. 2 seasons ago, I have not seen it once yet with Tottenham. They don't know what they're doing, hunting the ball. I would love to sit here as a Spurs man and heap praise on my club, but today and other games I've seen has been shocking. It really has, and it shocked me to the core.
Yeah.
They were so poor. There's just no idea with the ball. It's all off the cuff. It's all, let's just go out and play football. When the other team got the ball, we'll just drop in. There's no sort of pressing. Years ago, under Pochettino, they would press together hard and go together. None of that. I haven't seen it this season. And there is big problems there.
So just when questions were being asked of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, a tactical switch from the Norwegian has helped Manchester City see off Tottenham Hotspur 3-0 in North London. The first of the 3 goals from Cristiano Ronaldo. In a pretty special moment, this, wasn't it? I mean, he scored some special goals, but this is up there, Owen.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's a student of the game as well. He will appreciate everything about this goal. The ball from Bruno's fabulous, but the finish is just spectacular. I don't think many players in the Premier League can score this goal, but he makes this look easy because he's under such control. He knows exactly what he wants to do, lets it come on to him. Everything is just... I mean, honestly, I can't tell you how good a finish that is. You see, Glenn was highlighted at half-time, his left foot is off the ground, but the control, the rest of his body is under complete control. It's honestly, it's a stunning finish.
To keep his eye on, his eye on the ball, and then to sort of almost skip into it, to keep it low. That's why he's skipping, getting his body off the ground to keep the ball low, because it wasn't perfect for him. It was running away, it was going away from him. It's a wonderful finish and a wonderful pass from Fernandes. But also, the intelligence of just getting onside.
I was going to say exactly that.
That's offside. A lot of players would have just gone, put it in there. But he's just jumped back in, got himself in line with a white shirt, he doesn't know it is, and then gone in again. And that's the top quality. That's the difference between world-class players at the very top. And he knows that Fernandes has got the ability to drop that ball in there. Fernandes has created more than anyone else in the league. He's created more chances than anyone else. It's probably about 32 chances. Not all been taken. Today they've been taken.
Yeah.
And strangely enough, for Man United, Pogba has assisted more than anyone else in the league. So there's something happening in midfield that's good for United over the season.
Yeah.
But if you've got,
we've got those 2 up top.
If you've got the movement up front. Now, that's why this system has really ignited. We're excited about watching them play together. Today they were absolutely brilliant. The movement. And sometimes, youngsters, they've got legs, they've got pace. They haven't got that intelligence. They'd have been offside, Ronaldo. And then Cavani's runs, where the way he curves his run. He's prepared to make 3 runs across the pitch before he then makes his run forward. If you're a youngster playing like the likes of Rashford and Greenwood and the likes of that, you're going to come on leaps and bounds as a player. Just copy them. Just watch them.
You said earlier you're going to be pretty excited to see these 2 work in tandem, Ronaldo and Cavani, for the first time paired up top, of course. What was it about this movement you liked the best?
Well, I just think here we're just analysing where Spurs could have changed the play all day long. When you're playing against a back 5, your fullbacks can be spared. Keep changing the play and you actually wear them down. Spurs didn't do it once. Look, could change again. There's the option. Then you've got a 2v1 against Wan-Bissaka. And they didn't do it once. In the end, it goes into Skip. He loses control, and suddenly there's a 3v3, but they've got top quality. Look at that little cut back there from Ronaldo. Again, it's Cavani's run made to perfection. And what a finish. These are world-class players playing together. I don't care what age they are, whether you're 17 or whether you're 36 or 37. That is top quality, Owen, isn't it?
Look, I think that everything from Ronaldo there is I think is stunning. I've seen that chop a million times in training. It's a beautiful thing. As soon as he had it on his right foot, I've been trying to teach my son that chop. When it's there, you chop it behind. Yeah. Even Skip, you know, you think about a young player and Skip, a defensive midfield player, not a chance to stop it. And the weight of the ball for Cavani, that chop is beautiful. And the weight of that and the finish from Cavani. And we said before the game, keep a clean sheet. You got Ronaldo, you got Cavani, you got Bruno Fernandes, you're a win game. Everything about that goal was top class.
Yeah.
So we saw Marcus Rashford come off the bench, of course, and how things have changed, obviously, in such a limited few days for Manchester United, and for the smiles of Marcus Rashford at full time. He hit them on the counter. I mean, this is where Spurs at one point thought they had the ball, but then, to be honest, it was far too easy from a United perspective, wasn't it, Glenn?
This is the wonderful thing about having these sort of players to come on from the bench. If you do start with Cavani and Ronaldo, we look at Romero, the centre-back is in the right-back position. Emerson's in a centre-back position. You know, Eric Dyer turns round. The finish is wonderful. It really is. He opens his body up. There, he sets it beautifully. And Eric Dyer's looking round saying, where's my partner? Where's he gone? And there's no communication at Tottenham. But this is what Rashford can give you. Now, for England, Greenwood and Rashford are not going to start if these two are going to play up top, which is a shame in many ways. But as I've said, by playing with them, they're going to learn. Their careers are still going to go ahead. They've got many years ahead of them. Learn whilst they're working with them in training and playing, and they'll become better players for the long term. For this short term, for this little bit of this season, Ole's found something that's worked for him. And I think, yes, he's going to come up against better opposition than Tottenham played today, and they're going to have to produce that against better opposition. Spurs didn't cause them enough problems. You know, a back five, you've got to know what you're doing, and Spurs not once. That's where I say Spurs played off the cuff. But a team will give them some problems defensively. But my word, with those two on the pitch up the top there, you're always with a chance. And to bring those youngsters on with pace in a game when you're leading, Ole's sitting there thinking, all of a sudden, this could turn around very quickly.
There was real emotion, wasn't there, in that goal celebration from Marcus Rashford. Let's hear from the United forward now.
Well, Marcus, you needed a reaction, needed one badly, actually. What would you say about the one the team have produced?
Yeah, I think, it's obviously been a difficult week for us, which it is for any team when you don't win games. And we've responded with the only way that we all know how. The staff, the players, we all want to win. We're all fighting to win, and to get the result today can give us a big push.
You say it's been a difficult week. The pressure and scrutiny has been intense. How hard has it been to deal with?
I think playing for Man United, there's always pressure. You have to learn to enjoy the pressure, and part of playing for this club is coming out of difficult moments. The club have always managed to bounce back, and we're still looking to do that.
What would you say about your manager today, the decisions he's made, the change of formation? I know it's meant you've had to wait on the sideline and come on and do your bit, but under the pressure he's been under, what would you say?
Yeah, I think he's prepared for the team that we're playing against, and that's what we have to do. We all have to buy into what the manager's asking us to do. And today it resulted in 3 points.
Just tell us a little bit about your goal. Cool finish again.
Yeah, I think especially in the second half there was a lot of spaces. There was spaces in the first half as well, but I think as players get tired, them spaces become bigger and more obvious. And it's just about waiting and timing your run, making sure you're not offside, because as a forward, when you see the space, you're eager to get into it. So you just have to wait.
Is this Man United back, or is there still more to come?
I definitely think there's more to come. As a squad, there's a lot more to come from us. And I think we're going to need the time that we've got for the rest of the season. And as long as we keep improving, keep picking up points, we'll see where we are come the end of the season.
Good day for Marcus Rashford getting onto the score sheet. How disappointed will he have been not to have started today?
Yeah, I think you could see that in his celebration. He was fuming. But I think when Glenn makes a point, when two legends of the game are playing ahead of you, it's hard to complain, in the sense. So he's never going to drop Ronaldo. He needed somebody else in there, and Cavani was fabulous last season. Probably deserved to start sooner. And I think coming off the bench, Glenn makes a great point. You know, having Rashford to come off the bench and Greenwood, as much as it will hurt them, maybe right now for the balance of the team, which is the most important thing, they look good today. And I think he could get goals coming off the bench, definitely.
It's great options to have for Ole, and it's not the worst thing, is it, for Rashford and Greenwood at this stage of their career to watch these two in action?
They'll want to play. They're footballers. They want to play, but they're going to have to take a little bit of a bench seat, not a back seat, but a bench seat, and learn. Just learn from them, because in training they'll see how they make movement. Because the proof is in what they do. They put the ball in the back of the net. But even if the young men might not finish like them, that Cavani finish and Ronaldo's finish is top. That's world-class finishing. That's Maradona at their best. That's Messi at their best. It's the best of the best, if you like. And we saw that today. And that's what United have got, that in the locker. What's been happening is they've been conceding too many goals. Now they've gone into 3 centre-backs. At times a back 5. They'll get themselves organised. They're going to come under some cosh, like I said. But they'll get that. They'll work that out. They've got 3 centre-backs there. They've got Wan-Bissaka that I think could play in that right-sided centre-back as a 3. I think that's, if they look for a better wing-back in there on the right side, then they would be even more balanced, because Shaw down the left side looks great. It's just the other side, you know, Wan-Bissaka defensively, brilliant. But going with the ball, wing-backs get a lot of the ball in that system.
And finally, Owen, on United, is that a blueprint going forward with those two up top?
Well, I think it has to be, considering the amount of goals that they've conceded. You know, it showed up them defensively. But, you know, the big question is they've got City at Old Trafford on the weekend. You're not going to have much of the ball. You know, you're going to be quite deep. They defend with 7. Bruno, Cavani and...
Shaw down the left side looks great. It's just the other side, you know, Wan-Bissaka defensively, brilliant. But going with the ball, wing-backs get a lot of the ball in that system.
And finally, Owen, on United, is that a blueprint going forward with those two up top?
Well, I think it has to be, considering the amount of goals that they've conceded. You know, it showed up them defensively. But, you know, the big question is they've got City at Old Trafford on the weekend. You're not going to have much of the ball. You know, you're going to be quite deep. They defend with 7. Bruno, Cavani and Ronaldo. You know, is it going to work against City? You know, we'll see. But I think today is a big step forward.
And we'll hear from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer shortly. But as the pressure on his shoulders has been relieved, pressure continues to mount on this man. It's 5 defeats in 10 in the Premier League. And let's hear from Nuno Espirito Santo now.
Well, Nuno, obviously a very disappointing result. What would you say about the 90 minutes?
Poor performance, bad performance. Not too much words, simply that we didn't play good. Man United was stronger than us.
What was missing then? What was bad about it?
We conceded in a poor way. We lose balls. We allowed counter-attacks. We're not able to really break them. They were organised. 3 centre-halves, difficult. We had a good chance in the beginning, but not well enough.
It's an ongoing theme, isn't it, not being able to break down opponents. Why was it an issue again today against a side that conceded 5 last weekend?
We could not do it. We're not able to find the lines, the combinations, the support when we go wide, to combine. A little bit better in the second half, but not enough. The last pass was never there. The finish was never there. So, a bad performance.
Yeah. How do you fix that, Nuno, particularly the creative side?
Trying, supporting the players, finding solutions, working on the training ground. There's no other way. We have to work harder.
How do you get a bit more out of Harry Kane? He's obviously a fantastic player, but seems to be struggling to affect games at the moment.
No, we have to take the best of all our players. Not only about Harry. The focus is not on Harry. It's all our players. We have to support them, help them, find solutions and try to make them better. I truly believe that we are better than today.
What can you tell us? I know you didn't want to say too much before the game about the changes you made, but what can you tell us now that the game's done about why you did that?
We did that
the 2 changes.
We tried to improve what was missing. Trying to with Gio, we did a good game against Burnley, really good game. He's in a good momentum. Trying to find the best out of him. With Ben, a little bit more consistency. Unfortunately, it didn't work out.
And what about that substitution early in the second half with Bergwijn replacing Moura? You heard the boos. It didn't get a good reaction within the stadium. Why did you do it?
We did it because we wanted to open the pitch. Tried 1v1s with Stevie to try and break them down with 1v1s instead of too many combinations inside.
Okay, so boos when you made that change, boos at half-time, boos at full-time. What would you say about those supporters? Also the supporters that left the stadium. What would you say to them to convince them you're on the right track?
No, we're not on the right track. We totally understand the criticism. It's part of football. When the team doesn't perform, the fans suffer, the fans are not happy, and they show they're not happy. It's up to us to take it, tell them that we try our best, tell them that we are sorry because we didn't perform as we wanted, and we keep on trying. We keep on trying and humbly, in a humble way, ask them to support us all the way.
The five. So he was saying that United played with the back three today. It was difficult. Well, if you play that system and it works for you, you know what the Achilles heel is as well. And that's where I'm disappointed from Spurs' side. Nuno's not gone out and said, right, I know this system, but I know what causes us problems. This is what we're going to do. Didn't see it. No. Not once did I see it. Didn't see overlaps. You try and stretch the back five. The three in midfield were easy. It was all in front of them. They didn't have to go across to the two fullbacks. In the end, they run out of energy and you have an overload against them. So he didn't ask them any questions whatsoever. And number one, he didn't ask his own players to do it. So I'm a little bit worried of the void of tactics against that system. He should know it more than anyone because he played it for 2 or 3 seasons for Wolves. And it worked really well. I've not seen him do that at Tottenham yet. He's not played with the back three like he did at Wolves, with wing-backs. Maybe he feels he hasn't got the players yet. I don't know. But at the end of the day, they've got to find a way of playing. And it's not just with the ball, it's without the ball. So at the moment, they are a ship that's got no rudder. It's just bobbing along in the sea. And it doesn't know where it's going. And that's a concern for me.
When you look at the statistics, it's quite telling over the 90 minutes, Glenn. Not one shot on target. And that's with the likes of Kane and Son in the 11. They've scored 9 goals from their first 10 games. What's happened to their attack?
Well, it's not just the attack. The attack, look, there's world-class players in that team. When they're on song, you know, you've got Son, you've got Kane, you've got, you know, Moura is a good player. You've got offensive players there. They need service. They need a bit of service. And at the moment, they're not getting the service, so they stop running. They stop making movement. And then look how flat that is. You can't create if you've got a straight line like that. It's easy to defend against. And they're offside anyway there. But there's no movement off the angles. They've got to get bodies into the box quicker. Even here, look, Harry just runs out of ideas in the end. He's waiting for support. There is a support ball on. In the end, he's struggling with his game this season. It's got to be said. There's no doubt about that. There's no zip about him at the moment. I don't know where his mind is. There's a void there of midfield players. Again, you see 4 players all within a square there, a box, all looking. And in the end, it's just, because there's no option, somebody just throws the ball in because the crowd are booing. You know, through the pandemic, there weren't a crowd on your back.
Yeah.
That ball would have been circulated round the back again and out the other side. Whereas suddenly if crowds are on your back, you start doing things that you don't normally do, or you've got to be strong enough not to do it. That's what happens, you know, goes through a pro's mind. But at the end of the day, that ball's thrown in there because he had no options. And that was a lot of players, not just Harry Kane. No one had options on the ball for Tottenham. Whenever there was a white shirt in possession, I didn't see any white shirts movement off the ball. And that's their problem.
I mean, Glenn, look at that. I mean, in terms of goals scored, I mean, Norwich, let's be honest, I mean, they've had one of the worst seasons in Premier League ever. They've only scored 9 goals with 2 of the best players, attacking players in division, Kane and Son. I mean, I thought no shots on target today. I thought they were dreadful, Tottenham. I thought they were really, with that quality of player, to play that poorly, you know, no wonder the fans were booing, because Harry Kane's body language, he didn't look like he believed in what they were doing.
How concerned were you from what you saw from Kane today?
Look, he's a fabulous player, one of the best
from today.
But his body language, he didn't believe in what they were doing today. And look, you can have moments where you doubt, but if you're the leader of the team, he's by far their best player. He's got to be leading front and centre. He's got to be, you know, we saw Cavani and Ronaldo, the effort and energy they put into the game, you know, older than Harry. You know, he didn't look like he believed in what they were doing. And that, even if he doesn't believe, because he's the captain, he's got to lead from the front.
Yeah, he has. But that is not just today. That has summed up his performances through this season. Mentally, I think he's distraught that he didn't get his move. But now he stayed at Tottenham. He's got to get his mind. It's at a mental level. He's got to get himself back to his very best. The move didn't happen, but mentally, he looks as if he's plodding. There's no zip about his game, but that can start mentally. If you're up and you motivate yourself, motivation comes from within, number one.
Yeah.
He's always had that since he was a young kid. That's why he's as good as he is. He's lost that. He's now got to look inside himself, and he's got to get that back, and then he's got to work. You know, even if it's not for Tottenham, he wants to do it for England. He's got a World Cup coming around the corner within a year, just over a year. At the end of the day, he's got to play for himself, if nothing else. He's not doing himself any favours doing that. He is a wonderful, wonderful player, but he's got to get his mind right, and then hopefully everyone else around him has got to start playing better. I think he gets frustrated. He makes movement, and when the ball doesn't come, and then what does he do then? It doesn't come. I'm not going to run anymore. And that's both sides of the game then go out the window. So he's got a big problem.
It's a big challenge as well for Nuno to get that fire back in his belly. So for Harry Kane, his frustration continues this campaign. No doubt for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, his overriding emotion this evening will be one of huge relief. Let's hear from the man now.
Ole, congratulations. A change of formation and a completely changed feeling about the performance.
Yeah, of course, when you come off the pitch, winning 3-0, keeping the ball away from our goal. David didn't have a save to make. That's pleasing. But then that's football. Sometimes it goes for you, sometimes against you. And we'd worked on this week. The boys have been brilliant. They've took it on board, and it worked today.
The back three. I mean, how important to have Rafa Varane in a three?
He's an absolute top player, of course, and he reads the game well. He's quick. He's so experienced. So of course, to get him back fit is massive for us. You
talked last weekend, or well, every manager talks every week about finishing. The quality of finishing today. I mean, absolutely outstanding. All three goals. Yeah, great goals, all of them. Of course, the first one's the major one. What a pass from Bruno, and you know Cristiano is the best. You can't fault. You know, if he misses one, he's still as focused for the next one. And what a goal! What a goal! If he's not up there when all these votes are coming, I don't know. And you showed several times in the second half. Again, what a very dangerous counter-attacking side Manchester United are.
Yeah, you know we've built this performance on hard work, discipline, keeping the ball away from our goal, and then spaces will open up, especially if you get the first goal. So that's the first goal always decides how the game goes.
There's always somebody feeling the heat in the Premier League, and you know there's 20 managers and the pressure's on all of them. It kind of goes around. I mean, you've had a terrible week, I would think, and now hopefully you're in for a better one.
Yeah, you know we've got a hard week ahead of us. We've got Champions League game, and then you got City. So now you've got to digest this one and then make sure we're ready for Tuesday, because that's a difficult one as well.
Does this kind of draw a line under that Liverpool result last week?
No,
do you think?
Of course it doesn't. That's always going to be in the history books. It's going to be one of the darkest days any of us involved in, and it's going to feel like a dark spot on our CV, of course. But football becomes history so quick. You've got to look forward. You've got to make sure you're ready for the next one.
Just finally, you picked, I believe, the oldest starting 11 you've picked as a Manchester United manager. Obviously, you've got some fantastic kids. We all know that, and we know their qualities. But for this day, given the circumstances, was that key?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. The experience of Eddie and Cristiano up there, that's massive, of course. Rafa coming in. We needed, because we can't hide. The week has been difficult for all the players as well. And they've really stuck at it, and experience always they count in situations like this.
How quickly things change. Look at that, Manchester United up to 5th in the table. They may have played a game more than West Ham, just above them. But City have also played 10, and they're only 3 points behind them. Crisis? What crisis in the end, Owen?
Well, look, Ole's good under pressure. When the team's under pressure, when he's under pressure, he seems to find a way to get a result. I mean, we saw that earlier this season with Arsenal, Mikel Arteta. You know, everybody was calling for his head. Now they're in a position, I think they're 5th. So It goes quickly, especially early on in the season. If you can string a couple of results together, you put yourself in a good position. But I think for United, defensively was the biggest issue. Before this game, they conceded 15 goals. You know, one of the worst defences in the league. He tidied that up today. Played another centre-back with Varane, Lindelof and Maguire, with wing-backs, played 2 centre-forwards. He needed to change something, and he did, and it came off. Clean sheet, scored 3. So I think for Ole, there's a lot of positives there, and it's something to build on. But obviously, the Liverpool game left a lot of doubts about a lot of things.
Where does Pogba fit in when he returns from suspension?
Well, that is a good question. As I said, he's made more assists than anyone else in the Premier League, which is surprising. So-called not playing so well. But I personally think there's certain games you could play Fernandes and Pogba. I'd like to see them playing there together. I think they've got the ammunition. Man United have got a squad there. You look at it, they've got the ammunition to really go for it and challenge at the moment Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City. That's why this league this year particularly looks like it's going to come from any of those 4 or 5 teams can win this.
Yeah.
Not just getting the Champions League spots, actually go and win it.
Yeah.
And because it's been that inconsistent.
But Solskjaer's not out of the woods yet, of course.
No.
But can he play this way against Atalanta and City with similar success?
Well, I think he will in Europe, yeah. I think it will suit him. Owen touched on it. Against City, it's a one-off game. Maybe he's got to just tinker. I think he'll play with a 5 at back. I don't think he'll go away from that. It's what he does in front of there tactically for City game. Don't forget, City have just lost at home against Palace. They're meeting them at a decent time.
Yeah, or possibly the wrong time if they've got a point to prove. That's it in terms of today's edition of Matchday Live. My thanks to Glenn and to Owen. And no sooner has the pressure been relieved on the shoulders of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, it's on the Tottenham boss, Nuno Espirito Santo. Who'll be a manager, Glenn, hey? From us 3, bye for now.